negative. He's trying to get you to speak that out your mouth, what you've been thinking. Because especially even if you said about yourself. I didn't do that good. I didn't dance right. I didn't sing right. God said it was beautiful. And you saying, it don't sound right. I don't like it. So even what you're now doing is you're coming up against what he called, if he called it beautiful, and you saying you don't like it. Wow. You're coming up against the Father. Through the power of suggestion, and it's the enemy trying to make you have a critical eye, a critical tongue about the things of God. So you can see somebody, the Lord really using them, and you're like, And it'll make you be critical because in your mind you already spoke negative, and that's what you will see is negative. And see, the enemy will do that just through the power of suggestion, even with ourselves. And that's why we got to make sure, if God said that, you know what, you're beautifully and wonderfully made, and you keep calling yourself ugly, you are coming up against the will of God. Because if he said, I call you beautiful, I made you fat, I made you skinny, I made you light skinned, I made you dark skinned, that's the way that he wanted to make you. So through the power of suggestion, you heard somebody say, girl, you just too dog. Or girl, you just too fat. Well, that's your opinion. Because he called me beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? And see, and that's why we have to open up our mouths to cast down. That's why the Bible said, cast down every wicked imagination and thought that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Because these things come up against godly thinking, the thoughts that God is trying to plant seed into our spirit, man. But we uproot them when we come into agreement. Yeah, I am fat. No, I'm not pretty. Somebody saying, you beautiful. No, I'm not.
And you know,
I even had to deal with me about, you know how people, oh, you got some big legs. Ooh, you got some little legs. What you think I'm supposed to do with them? Do I supposed to cut them off? Because you say I got some little legs. These my legs he gave me. I thank the Lord for my legs. Yeah. You know, it took me a place. I had to get to that place because people want to put, your leg too little now. What you think? What? I supposed to go to the store and get a new pair? You know the stuff that we say to people. You know, you be like, come on, y'all. We church folks saying this kind of crazy stuff instead of just saying, you know what, I'm beautifully and wonderfully made, and I appreciate what God gave me, and so I'm wearing my little dresses because I ain't studying what y'all talking about. I think they feel big, and so they'll talk about people, you know, just to make themselves feel good when really they feeling small anyway. You know, and so that's why even with this power of suggestion, we ought to stomp on that devil with this thing here. Because see, God said you got to understand that he has given us power and ability to face these things, and we must overcome it. So you got to look at it. If you got a jealous spirit, you know what? God, I got a jealous spirit, and I'm going to apply your blood to this jealous spirit that I have. If I'm envious, if I got a backbiting, a gossiping, a treacherous spirit, a Judas spirit, a Jezebel, whatever the spirit is, you got to apply the blood of Jesus to that thing on a continuous basis. Because if not, what that thing is going to do, it's going to turn into self-sabotage. Because what it is that you're helping the enemy to destroy you through the power of suggestion. Because the Bible says that a curse, the only way a curse can come without a cause. So if you open up your mouth causing a cause to take place, guess what? You open up the door to curses to come forth. Because when we speak things out of our mouth, you got to understand, just like how you spoke it out, guess what? It's going to boomerang back to you. Especially when you talking about curses. Especially when you talking about, you know what? I hope she don't get that house. I hope she don't get that car. You ain't said nothing, but then, you know, in your spirit, that's what you're doing. Because in front of the church, yeah, girl, I hope you get it. Then when you get home, she don't need that. She ain't even satisfied with what she got. She just don't need it. Just her. Why she want another car? You know, saying that behind the scenes, but not even understanding that what you're doing is you're speaking demonic activity you're speaking demonic activity for bad things to stop the person from getting their car. Even when you're going in there. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking it by yourself, and you may be speaking it at home, but you don't understand your words have given birth to those things into existence. You understand what I'm saying? So when you spoke it, now you have now helped that lady to have experienced warfare with trying to get her car. You got to understand, when we're dealing with the power of suggestion, you got to understand that the enemy comes to suggest. You got to think about it. When you was in your childhood, you felt, you know what, I wasn't pretty. So if you felt that you wasn't pretty as a little girl, guess what? You feel like you're not pretty as a 30-year-old. Because that same image that was spoken, it was suggested to you that you're not pretty, that you're ugly. It was suggested to you that you were stupid, you dumb. So now you're grown and you still feel, you putting yourself down. Oh, you go ahead, I ain't smart enough. And that's what we do. And see, and that's why God said through the power of suggestion, we have helped the enemy to form us to be weak. Even being scared of the dark. Even as a little girl, because being an adult, guess what? That's a demon you still got to face. Being ridiculed, somebody talking about you. So time somebody now doing constructive criticism to you as an adult, you ready to attack because they used to talk about you, and you don't know you don't know the difference, because see, the enemy has suggested to you your upbringing, what happened to you, that determines how you are now through the